Sorry about my voice. I just don't feel well today, so that's why, sorry in advance for the gritty voice. I mean, it's already gritty, but yeah. So yeah, enjoy the video. Season 4. So basically, this was mostly a Zog episode. He goes to an asylum because, last season he was crazy all throughout the season. You just saw his mental health go straight to shit. Um, and mainly he kind of, I think that mostly just stems from his childhood trauma that he's been trying to deal with. Like you kind of see it unravel um a little bit. He's afraid of being buried alive, and you can see he's trying to change to be a changed man because he hates himself. He's implied that many times throughout the series that he kind of hates himself. That's why he drinks, and I think his daughter, I think, being kind of adopts that behavior from him. um he mostly kind of is a shit leader. Like, he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really know how to do anything besides be a leader. He's only king because that's what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be king. But yeah, I don't think that's something he really wanted to do per se. Like, he's always seemed like bored of the idea of being king. So has Queen Uma. Like, she moved on and became a pirate or whatever. But I think a part of him, and a part of season 3 was him finding himself outside of being a king and outside of dealing with Bane's alcoholism, because he probably realized that he can't really being, even though she's his daughter, he can't. Bean can't be the center of his entire life. Like, eventually Bean will take over and rule the kingdom, and then what's left for Zog per se. I forgot the reasons why he became insane. I think it was because they're trying to stage a coup or whatever, and they were gaslighting the fuck out of him throughout the entire series. Um, Also, I think it had something to do with him being like buried alive, which really scared him. I guess that's like one of his fears. And unfortunately, this happens again. This episode where, I mean, I like the dialogue between him and his cellmate in an asylum, because like he was kind of actually funny in a psychotic way. Um, but yeah, he long story short, tries to bury him alive again. The reason why he knows that this is his fear is because he heard him talking about it in his sleep. So then his cellmate or whatever, tricked him into being buried alive. Said basically this is an escape tunnel, but it was a dead end, and then he covered the other end with cement and bricks. And obviously he wasn't planning on it actually escaping. He just wanted to kill him because he's crazy. But Zagi escaped the asylum, and eventually it cuts off of him finding the two little dwarves and goes back to Dreamland with them. Also, he ends up in like this type of monastery situation where, like, I guess it's like a religious, I don't want to say cult, it's more like just a religion, I guess, of peacefulness. So he tries to take that up on. And he seems to be doing very like well for himself in this monastery. Like, he seems very peaceful with himself, and he seems that his mental health is getting a lot better, and he's starting to be a changed man. Like, it's surprising that he has more character development than Bean in this episode. It's just kind of weird for me. Mostly he it's kind of like they cram a lot of stuff into this episode. Like, a lot of shit kind of happens, but it's very fast paced. It's kind of like almost like a play or skit. Like, it's very fast paced. You go from setting to setting to setting. You have like maybe two or three clips with Bean, but it's mostly her on the airship now, on her way to Dreamland. So I just don't like the pacing of the show sometimes, because, like, especially when it comes with side characters, it's kind of weird. Like, some things just don't really make that much sense. Like in season 1, episode 1, like, she was talking to I forget these characters because sometimes they're like super forgettable, but like, I guess Lucy's a name. Okay, so basically Lucy's in heaven, and somehow he's talking to her through his decapitated head, and then while he's descending from heaven to help her in real life, he's still talking to her briefly through his head. I don't know how that works, and that's kind of weird. Like, it doesn't make no sense. The corpse has been dead for a couple hours, I think, at least, or maybe, like, I don't know, maybe at most, maybe like 2 hours. But like, the fact that you have a decapitated head and he's over here talking to you through it is kind of weird to me. But anywho, that's pretty much it for the video, because there wasn't really much to say for this. I give it like a, what would I give this? I would just give it. It's very mid. Like, this episode was extremely mid for me. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. It really did nothing for me. I think it was just. I think it's that, like, I'm just gonna say it now. Like, this season has like a lot of build up, and I feel like that's all this season is just build up. Like, there really isn't nothing to look forward to per se. Like, when I say the season's worth watching, no, honestly, now that I think about it, it really isn't worth watching. Nothing really happened. I think if you really want to watch this season, watch the last 4 episodes, and that was pretty much it. Everything in between is stupid. Well, okay, yeah, watch the last 4 episodes, because honestly, it's kind of like you would get the notation. Like, you don't really need to know all the new characters and stuff, because like, they're not important. I think they're just there to distract the audience. Really didn't do anything. They fade in and out, and they drop plots. Faster than you can drop an egg. It's weird, but it comes together in the end. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification. Sorry, my throat's just feeling funny today, so yeah. Sorry about that. Yep, and see you.